Good evening, everybody. It's Steven again. You're also known as your Shaper 3D Daddy, bringing you another useful tutorial so you can get your learn on today. And when I woke up this morning, I had this real hankering for some waffles. So I ran downstairs after I put on my little footy pajamas, and I ran downstairs and went to go make me some waffles, and I realized I had two immediate problems. One, I didn't have any waffle mix, and two, I didn't have a waffle iron. So the only other solution was to make that waffle iron in Shaper 3D, which is what I'm going to show you how to make that today. And isn't this wonderful? So, why don't we get to it? So I'm going to delete this. So our first step is to go to our front view. Now, it doesn't make a difference if you're in the front view, left, right, back. Don't make a difference. So what we're going to do is the first step, go to our sketch tool, go to our polygon tool, select triangle. And we're going to draw our first triangle. And what we have to do is make sure, you know what, I'm going to position this again. Again, polygon tool, triangle. I just go right for the middle here. Now, our triangle is 1.9 inches in radius. It doesn't make a difference what the radius is, as long as you have a nice little triangle. And the other important thing is that the top of the triangle is at 90 degrees, so the bottom is parallel. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to double click on it so it's selected. We're going to go to our pattern. Nope, sorry. Jump the spot there. We're going to go to the line tool, because what we want to do is we want to flatten the top of this triangle out so it makes that unique kind of like trapezoidal shape that makes up a waffle iron. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the line tool as our cutting tool to create our trapezoid. So wherever you want to cut this off at the top, I'm going to do it right about here. Take your line tool, go straight across, deselect. Now we're going to hit the T for the trim tool. Again, I'm using a Windows machine. And we're just going to select the extra stuff off. Deselect the trim tool. And as you can see now, we have this very lovely, I believe is a trapezoid. Don't bet on this as a trapezoid, because I didn't do so well in geometry in high school. There's a lot of things I didn't do so well in high school, but I think this is a trapezoid. So now our next step is to go to the pattern tool. Again, double select the full trapezoidal shape. Next, we're going to go over to the pattern tool, as you can see here. Select. Make sure linear is selected. And what we're going to create is we're going to create 10 copies of this trapezoid and drag them across to the right. So what we're going to do, under quantity, put in 10. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drag this across to the right. And as you notice, as we drag this across, you can see there's a distance here of 10 3/4 inches. That means from the center of the first trapezoid to the center of the last trapezoid, that is 10 3/4 inches. Now, I'm not going to make this any specific distance. I'm just going to drag this out as far as I want to go. So I'm just going to make it 19 inches just for fun. So now we have 10 of these trapezoids, and we have these flat tops on it. So now, not unless if you look, now we have most of the profile of our waffle iron done. The other thing is here, the bottom valley of our waffle iron is pretty sharp. So if we made a waffle on this and we bit into this waffle, it's going to do some damage to our gums. We don't want that. What we want is more of a flatter bottom like this. How do we achieve that? Easiest way to do that is to go rectangle And we're going to go from the bottom corner here up. Oops. And then we're going to drag it across. Now, to create our... now I'm just pulling this thing up in height to the point where I want my flat bottom to be. I'm just doing it from this line here. Just drag it across. And then I'm going to snap it to the bottom here. Snap it to the bottom here. It's not cooperating. Come on. Play along. There you go. Let it go. Now we have our peak and our valley of our waffle iron. You kind of see what's coming on here. Now, if you look at the distance here, it is 22.345 through 34.45 inches. So that is relevant because what we're going to do in the end is we're going to end up extruding this profile, we'll call it, to make the first part of our waffle iron. So now the next thing we need to do, boys and girls, remember it's 22.345, is we're going to select, we're going to select all of these shapes, as you see on a sketch plane. We're going to select all these shapes on the sketch plane of the sketch plane. So we hold down the Shift key, select. Not very exciting. Again. Again. Oops. And again. Now we have all of these shapes selected of the sketch plane. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to extrude this. The important thing is that this extrusion that we're going to create, the depth of the extrusion has to be wider or deeper than the width of this profile. So we're going to hit the E key, which is our extrusion key, select the arrow, and pull this out. Now, if you remember, it's about 22 inches wide. Let's just make it 23 to cover our butts. And now we have our extrusion. Click on the Done button. Easy part now is to double-click, select the body. We had a sketch plane before. We extruded it, which created a body, which I'm sure you all know. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click the Copy button. And then on the Move Rotate tool, and we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. See, as you can see, 90 degrees, or you can type in 90 degrees. When you have the grid selected, like I do, grid on, it's almost clicks for you to 90 degrees, which makes it easy. Now, the next thing we're going to do, easy step, is to, now that we have our copy selected, we're going to go to More, Intersect, and we're going to select the original, which is here. As you can see, it's kind of flashing, if you want to call it that. And then we hit the Done key. Now, as you can see, we have this lovely, almost like waffle iron shape. You can see the little trapezoids here. They're now 3D, uniform in shape, square. It's that simple. That's all you have to do. It's that simple to make this using the Intersect tool. Intersect tool, in my opinion, kind of the most interesting tool to use in Shaper 3D because you can make some really interesting things with it. So let's say if we want to make this a little more exciting, if you want to call this exciting, a waffle iron exciting, but instead of having square bottoms to it, you want to have diamond shapes instead. So we're just going to back this up a little. We're going to go back to our original here of the original extrusion, the first extrusion we made. We're going to double click on it again. hit copy as we did before. We're going to be on the move rotate tool. And instead of rotating it 90 degrees, we're going to rotate it 45 degrees. Do what we did before. More. Intersect. Boink. Done. Now we have this octagon shape. And now we have diamond shapes. That's all there is to it. What does this look like to me? It looks like maybe a tread on a tractor, maybe armor plate, some type of weird 25th century manhole cover, whatever what turns you on. But that's how you can make these interesting uniform patterns, 3D patterns in Shaper 3D. I hope you learned something new today. You're a little smarter than you were yesterday. Like, subscribe, say nice things about me to your friends, and you have